Okay, so I just thought I would explain the different things that are going on here. So this is a standard meter box, and so the power comes in from the street. You see the wire all the way out to the pole out there, and then comes back into the meter. This is what you, when you use electricity, this is what you get charged for, right? So there's the meter right there. So the Sol-Ark 15K takes the power straight from the meter into the grid on-off switch. So this is a major 250 amp switch that shuts the grid off. It's got spark arresters in there and everything else, because the grid kind of has unlimited power. So if you don't have this, you're going to be in trouble. So this will shut the grid off if there's a grid shutdown. But the Sol-Ark 15K and all the Sol-Ark product line has the shut off built in electronically, so you can program the Sol-Ark not to feed back to the grid. So here is a close-up of the user interface that's on the front of the unit. So you notice that it says DC's on, AC's on, and it's operating normally. There's no alarms right now. You can see that the little green box to the left, that's the solar production. Kind of a cloudy day here, so not a lot of solar activity going on, but still enough to run many things in the house, right? We're pulling from the grid, and the load is being balanced by the Sol-Ark. Some of the power right now is going to the battery, so the battery is in a state of charging up. Okay. Inside, and of course, you can program the whole thing from this front screen, or much easier from a laptop or even your phone. Right. So this has 3 safety latches down here on the door. And the door swings open. It's a NEMA rated box, and it is completely sealed with a neoprene rubber seal, which is awesome. You can see down here some of the specs for the 15K. They call it a hybrid inverter, and that's because it'll either do on-grid or off-grid. And then this is what it looks like. Now there's a little plastic safety shield here in front of all the wiring, so that you don't inadvertently stick your finger in and touch something that you ought not to touch. But brief tour here. This is the load switch. So this is a 200 amp switch. They're joined together. When that breaker goes down, the house goes dark, because it the Sol-Ark controls the power going back to the main breaker panel. So if you flip this off, the house goes dark. These are the battery switches here. So 2 of those. Right now we're only utilizing 1, and they're independent here. So the battery will kick in if this switch is up and the grid goes down, or I shut that off manually. The battery automatically kicks in and runs the building. So this little row right here, these orange things, that's where the solar power from the roof comes down and connects up to the inverter. So just a reminder for those who don't know, solar power is DC direct current, so it's just the same kind of current that you'd get from a battery. So there's 2 things that are compatible here. There's the battery and the solar. They both are direct current. And what's not compatible really is the alternating current. So the inverter takes the direct current from either the battery or the solar and inverts it to a alternating current that can be used by all house appliances. What's different about this unit, this inverter, is that the power is coming from the meter right to here, essentially via the big giant breaker box. That's just a big through, but this is really coming from the grid, really. And so never ever touch those, right? But the advantage is that it's all in one place. Normally what happens is you have to run a separate line to your load center and then a line back, and the line might be 30 amps, it might be 60 amps, some are 65 amps, but it's not 200 amps. This line here going back to the load center is 200 amps. So what that means is that it's going to run your whole house. So normally, just let's remember, normally what happens is the power comes out of the box, out of the meter box, and goes into your load center directly, right? So that's what's different about this, is that chain of custody is broken. It now goes to an external breaker box, into the inverter, and then out of the inverter straight into the load center. So in the load center, every single circuit that's in that load center is powered by the Sol-Ark, and that could be either from solar, from the grid, from the battery, or in this case, this particular circuit right here is designed so that you can either send current out to an electric car charge station. This particular one happens to be one way, so I'm sending power to this, and then it goes down the wire and to the Tesla, right? So, but they are now making grid to home or two-way communication charge stations so that power from the car can be exported to here and then back in to your inverter. So you could technically run your house from your charge station. This one's not so, right? This is a one-way ride. This is a open EVSE. This is one that I built myself, and but you could actually do that. So along with the so that's coming in the future. We're gonna be doing that in the future, which is pretty cool. Down here I have a NEMA 1450. So this is a 50 amp NEMA plug. This is the same kind of plug you'd find at a camping ground right there. And the reason I have this is because some people that come to our place to charge, so we're on the Plug Share network, some people have conversion vehicles that they built themselves, so they converted a gas car to a electric car, and some of them have their own onboard situation, their own onboard charger that actually it's more convenient for them to just plug into a NEMA 1450, so they don't really have the J772 on some of those. You can obviously do that, and then over here I wired a separate circuit. This circuit has two 110 outlets here. They're both GFI'd, you can see right here. And the point of this is this one's on one circuit, this one's on another circuit. So if I really needed to, I could combine them together with a special plug that I can make, and I can get 220 volts out of this. And then I have right now just a manual switch to control the light, which is right there. Yeah. So why would I need 220 when I have 220 over there? Well, actually probably don't, but it's just extra heavy duty just in case. What if somebody's charging their car over there and I want to run my electric snowblower? Well, I could still do that off of these switches here, or vice versa. So that's kind of a brief rundown. We have another charge station on the other side. Oh, forgot about this. This is an emergency rapid shutdown. So this is wired directly into the Sol-Ark inverter. And so if there was truly some sort of emergency, say you're incapacitated or the fire company comes by, they don't know what's going on. So they just pull this down, pull this off, push this in, standard rapid shutdown. Within a second, this whole entire unit goes down, breaks the solar connection. There's also an additional off on this side right here where you can shut the solar completely off, and it's electrified only on that row of orange pins that you saw. So that's pretty cool to be able to pull off. Right now the software is not set up to be able to do anything remotely, like shut the unit off or restart it or anything of all that nature. For that, you would actually have to call in. On this side over here, we also have another charge station. These are openevse.com charge stations. You can buy them fully assembled, or you can assemble them yourself. They're somewhere under $300, something like that. So that's it for now.